Hey, what's up guys, it is Saintsfan, and sorry about the lack of Destiny videos over the past few days. Obviously some GTA stuff came out, but nonetheless, getting into what I'm going to be talking about in this video, there's been a lot of confusion about the different factions, Vanguard, Crucible. There's even some optional factions you can join and how you can level up those factions to get some of the legendary items that they have. So I'm going to try to do my best to explain what I figured out after playing the game the past few days, and hopefully this helps you guys. So as you see, we are in the tower here, and what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go and view this map real quick. So, there's two default factions in the game. There's the Crucible right here, and then there's the Vanguards. Now, obviously, the Vanguards is more PvE, because that is doing the story mode stuff, you know, patrols, strikes, all that. And then there's the Crucible, which is obviously PvP, doing all the, you know, clash, control, the whatever the other game modes are. And depending on which one you do, as you see in my inventory, you can gain either Vanguard marks or Crucible marks or RP or XP for either faction. Also, bounties do help, so, you know, if you do the Vanguard bounties, you get Vanguard marks and XP, and the same thing applies for Crucible. Now, you can go to the Vanguard or Crucible vendors, which are down here, and they have various items that you can get, some legendaries and stuff like that. Now, as you see, when I go to the Crucible, my reputation, I'm still a rank 0, but I'm almost at rank 1, and for some of the armor, like it says at the bottom, you have to be rank 2, and some of them are rank 3, and you have to have certain Crucible marks to unlock these items. And same thing for the Vanguard. Now, there are actually 3 other optional factions that you can join in the game, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that here in a second. And these have various attributes that you can get. So with the Crucible and the Vanguard, their stat attributes for the armor, it's pretty much random, nothing's really specific. But with these 3 other factions, you can actually get sort of specific on those stats. So the 3 optional factions are the New Monarchy, the Dead Orbit, and the Future War Cult, which is right up here. And there are 3 attributes that are in the game. There's Intellect, which reduces the cooldown time of your super. There's Discipline, which reduces the cooldown time of your grenade. And there's Strength, which reduces the cooldown time of your melee modifier. So the faction combinations are as follows. So the Dead Orbit, which is right here, this one is Discipline and Strength, which is melee and grenades. The Future War Cult, they have Intellect and Discipline, so that is grenades and super. And then the New Monarchy, they have Intellect and Strength, which is super and melee. So depending on how your character is, if you prefer to have armor that has some special stuff relating to, say, grenades and super, you would want to join the Future War Cult. But if you say maybe you wanted, you know, I guess melee or grenades, if you use those more, then you would go with Dead Orbit, and again, so on and so forth. Now, as you can see, I'm at the Future War Cult vendor, and this is what I'm talking about. So when you go on their legendary armor, you can see there's not only light, but there's Intellect and Discipline. Now, just the same with Vanguard and Crucible, you need to level up in the actual faction to gain access to the stuff, but you also need Crucible marks to buy it as well. Now, you may be wondering, well, how do I actually level up in all these factions, even Crucible and Vanguard? So, Crucible and Vanguard, that's actually pretty simple. For Crucible, obviously playing PvP, doing bounty missions in PvP, basically anything relating to PvP, you get Crucible marks and reputation. Now, to gain RP and marks in the Vanguard, there are a few options. So one, obviously you can do bounties just like in Crucible. Those are pretty simple. You can also do patrols, which are missions like if I show you on Earth right here. So you can do this thing called Patrol the Cosmodrome. And when you're there, it's basically the free mode. Just bring up your ghost and it'll actually pop up with some missions that you can complete. They're fairly simple, but keep in mind you actually only get RP. You don't get Vanguard marks from this. So that's basically just a way to level up. But again, you are going to need the marks to buy items. So maybe for lower levels, to just get that rank up, do patrols. But once you get, I think, level 16 or 18, you actually unlock this strike playlist. And as you see, obviously I've been playing a lot more Crucible because the rank is higher, or the RP is higher, but when you play the strike playlist, there are 4 different options. There's a level 18 strike, level 20, 22, and 24. Now obviously level 18, it says you only get Vanguard reputation plus 10 and Vanguard gear, and moving up, you get marks for 20, you get a little bit more reputation, you get 3 marks for 22, and then 6 marks and 25 reputation for 24. Obviously this is the hardest, so you are going to have to level up to before you can play this strike playlist. You can also play the daily heroic story and the weekly heroic strike to get Vanguard marks and Vanguard reputation. As you see, the daily heroic story only gives you marks, but it gives you a pretty big XP bonus. And the weekly heroic strike, this one not only gives you a Vanguard marks and reputation, but you also get strange coin, which is good for buying exotic weapons. I'll get into that probably in another video. But this is pretty difficult, so you are going to need a pretty good team to play either one of these. Now there's also one more way that you can both rank up the Crucible and the Vanguard. It's pretty simple. It's through materials. If you get 50 of either, say, spin metal or helium vials, you can actually trade that into the Quartermaster for PvP or PvE to get some rep or marks for either faction. That's not the greatest way I would go about it, because some of the materials you actually need to upgrade guns, but it is there. Now those are just the 2 default factions, so you may be wondering, how do you actually join, say, the Future War Cult, and how would you level up? Because as you see, I have a little bit of leveling here. Where is it at? Right here. How you would level that up. So depending on which faction you want, like I said, pick the faction. It's basically on what attributes you would want, whether you want melee and grenades and super and melee. Personally, I go with the Future War Cult because I like grenades and my super, so that's what I'm gonna go with. Now, once you pick your faction, come down here to Crucible Armor, and I think depending on what class you're on, you'll actually have 2 different options down here. Now I'm a hunter, so obviously I have capes, and you are gonna need a little bit of Glimmer to buy these, but what you're gonna want to do is just buy one of them, depending on, like I said, which class you are. And once you buy it, you're gonna go into your character, and like I said, mine's cape, so I am going to equip it. As you see, mine is equipped. Now once you equip the factions item, as you see, anything you do in Crucible, PvE, the Vanguard stuff, anything, instead of going towards the Crucible rep and the Vanguard rep, it will actually go towards your faction rep. So like I said, you can do the strike playlist, you can do the daily stories, the weekly mission, you can do Crucible stuff, and anything you do, even bounties, the RP, instead of going to the Crucible and Vanguard, will go to your faction. So that is how you join a faction, and you can buy their legendary items. Now if you do care about the story, there are some stories behind the different factions. If you want to join a faction based on the story instead of just the attributes that you want, then I'll leave a link in the description that you can go check out and read the stories of each faction. But that's pretty much it with this video. I hope this sort of cleared up some stuff with factions and how to get RP and all that stuff to get the legendary items. Let me know if you want to see some more stuff like this. The raid actually just came out today, so I'll probably put up a video either later tonight or tomorrow on the raid, and it should be pretty fun. So hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like if you did find it helpful. Subscribe for more Destiny content. Like I said, I'm sorry about the last couple of days. It was mainly GTA. Obviously, I'm still loving Destiny, but GTA obviously does come before Destiny a little bit on my channel. So, hope you guys enjoyed again as always. For Saintsfan, I'm out. Peace!